Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare. I have another channel on astrology and a Facebook page on which I wrote prophetic writings for years. Uh, the usual caveat, there are individuals who are impersonating me, stealing my identity in order to harm me and others, to steal from me and to steal from you. Don't engage with anyone. Please, even if they use my identity, I have actually encountered them in astral as they were using masks with my identity in order to harm others. So please, this is not just something that I'm saying randomly. This is something serious. I'm not contacting anyone in astral. So if you see anyone contacting you, that means it's a doppelganger. Yeah. Now on this video, God has guided me to talk about heart chakra, because I mentioned this in a previous video. If you remember the video in which I was talking about how important is to heal your heart chakra in the process of integration between subconscious and conscious level, also integrating with your higher self and so on, healing essentially, inner child healing in general. Yeah. Please watch that video because I'm not repeating here what I said there. I will say different things. Basically, God has guided me to talk specifically on how to heal the heart chakra. I explained in that video the heart chakra is critical for the transition from lower chakras to the upper chakras towards crown chakra as transmutation process. Yeah, so it's critical in order for you to heal. Literally, you cannot move on and heal properly if you don't do healing on your heart chakra. And is essential because there are phases in your spiritual fighting, and at some point, pretty soon I hope, in your spiritual fighting, you will learn to overcome the attacks sent on your lower chakras. And in order to do that, it's critical to heal the heart chakra. Yeah, so you can transition towards the next level, where you will deal with more of attacks on heart chakra and soul chakra. Okay. Now, I don't know exactly what God wants me to talk about. God said just give them an example how to do, because they don't know how to do heart healing, basically. This is what God said. Now, heart healing can be very diverse and is very personal matter. It depends on what topic and what kind of relation you associate feelings with. Yeah, there are different ways. Clearly there's got to be something from the divine realm that you love, basically, or that you appreciate and want. The idea is to open your heart chakra, and you do so by loving, basically. Many people unfortunately don't know how to love. That's a very big issue, of course. And that can stem from very different reasons. One reason would be that they never seen love. Like in family, they haven't seen the proper pure divine love. And divine love doesn't mean worshiping. You must be very careful on this, because also in talking about faith and God, many people have different views. It's one thing to worship God, and it's another thing to love God. Also, your worshiping of God will have more weight if you actually love God. If you only go to God to request things, material things particularly, that is not love. If you don't really have I gave you the mystic prayer meditation. Yeah, this is the perfect example how you will exercise a direct connection between you and God. And again, I say, if you view God as older grandparent who is only giving you money or fame or whatever you desire, that is not love. You can worship him like this as well. Of course, there are many who do that, but that is not love. That's very different. If you fear God, and you pray to God to forgive you for your mistakes and to give you different a new beginning or a new chance or something to redemption, that is not love as well. You can do that. I'm not saying you cannot do it. What I'm saying is that it doesn't have the healing quality. Only love heals, truly, honestly. Honestly, yeah. For me, for example, I have done a lot of heart healing with Lucky, because he loves me a lot. I love him a lot. We are very united, and I did a lot of healing through him, and I could receive and manifest pure love with him. Yeah. You can find, I do of course love God, so many of my dialogue with God comes not necessarily for being so interested in learning certain things, but mostly because just I love him, and I like to have my direct connection with God, and because I think of God as I don't even know how to say, as family, as you know. So of course, because of this, my connection with God is healing for me. Now it can be healing for you too if you love him. But if you refuse to love him and you just position yourself in a different situation, and you deal with him like, a judge, or someone who gives you rewards or something like this, very material based, then it's not going to be that healing. And let me say this, okay? So in a direct connection, regardless, with God or Jesus or whoever, yeah, there are 2 points, you and him, yeah. And God might send love to you, and healing, but if you are not on the receiving mode at the other end, meaning you haven't opened your heart chakra, because the love is the one who actually, literally, love transmutes darkness, yeah. And I'm not talking about, now be very cautious, I'm not talking about love and light where you love demons who attack you. This is very twisted way of thinking, where you send love to demons, and then that's going to be on you, basically, that you're going to get attachments if you love demons, or you send love to entities or something. That is wrong. That is not spiritual fighting. But when you feel love, your heart chakra is opening. Yeah, when you feel emotions in general, not only love, but love out of all emotions has the healing effect. Yeah. And you have Kuan Yin and you have Virgin Mary, that actually oversee this type of healing, the heart healing, the pink color, for the heart chakra. But is very important. So you will open your heart chakra, but in order to open your heart chakra, you must feel love for something, for someone. And this doesn't have to be a human. It can be a deity, it can be an animal, it can be, but it must be truly, honestly, deep love. Nobody's gonna watch you, and nobody will come after you to correct you and say this is not love, you should do this, you should do that. But I said in other videos, you must be a good observer, and you must try different ways, and you will see, you will feel when the healing comes. Yeah. Of course, ideally you have love for your parents, but always keep in mind that there's got to be 2 points. One, it's you, but if the other one doesn't love you, then also it's going to be a blockage. You still don't get the healing. Yeah. This is very important to understand. There's got to be 2 points. So if you want to love for healing yourself, don't try to love somebody who doesn't love you, and don't count on somebody loving you if you don't love them back. None of this will be healing for you. It's basically just because the healing, it's basically generated by the exchange of love, mutual love for each other. So you will feel the healing of the one who loves you only if you love them. And quite the same way, you will get healing from loving somebody only if the other one loves you back. Otherwise, you will get much of frustration, negative feelings, and so on. Yeah, it's the same. Oh, yeah. You see, this is one of my puppies. He's singing when he's sleeping. Do you hear him? This is very funny. Okay, so do you hear him? He's very funny. He does this. I noticed only now when I took him inside my house. Okay, so this is the heart healing by love. Again, you must. I will give you another example. I don't have children. Yeah, but sometimes, for example, I do healing. There's a song which I love, and is talking about your child. Uh, Hello, gata. um, it's talking about your child, her child. The artist is talking about her child, and I think it's called "Rock My Baby" or "Rockabye" or something like this. I like to use that song always to speak to the soul of my child. um, and you will see that in that melody, basically, the wording says literally, I actually use that through my spiritual fighting. It says, your life will be nothing like my life. And I dedicated this song to my spiritual fighting because I said from the beginning, there's no fucking way any of my children would ever go through all this bullshit of bondage creation in 3D. And I actually made an agreement with God when we started the spiritual fighting consciously. And I said, I will break it all. I will break all my bondage. At no point in time, if you will ever decide, I will not make children in 3D. And if you will decide that you will send the soul of my child after I return to 5D at home, if you want to send my child into 3D, I will not agree to that unless I finish and change 3D. And my child will encounter totally different reality, you know. So I use that song in order to connect with the soul of my child, and it's usually a reassuring promise that if you will ever have to incarnate, which I hope not, but if God will decide differently, and if the soul of my child will want differently, I make always this promise to my child, and I say, you will not have to go through this. I will make sure I will break all bondages related to me and to you as my child. And I will make sure I will not allow, I negotiated with God a lot. And I said, I will not allow that you send my child into this. You tell me what you need to be done so I can break it. And I will not allow that my child comes into this. And that is a song which is healing for me. Through that song, I do connect with the soul of my child, who's not here, obviously. He's in 5D with God and Jesus. And Jesus promised me my child will stay there and nobody will send him into incarnation here. So I gave you one example, something that is important to you, something for whom or which you feel love. It can be anything. It can be animal. It can be a project. I don't know what else can be. There are many options, and people are different. I did not study what other people love and how much they love and how they love and stuff like this. But in order to create this healing on heart chakra, which is critical for you in order to heal, you cannot actually heal unless you heal your heart chakra. And again, I say, the healing happens through love, through the feeling of love, but it's a very pure love that I'm talking about. Yeah, of course, it's nothing sexual. You're talking about love from heart chakra. That is a superior, pure type of love. It doesn't have to be, for example, it doesn't uh, and woman type of couple relation. I have, for example, a lot of love, and I know I get a lot of stability in terms of energy, reassurance, and safety through the love I have for my ancestor who passed away when I was 11 or 12 years old, the one who actually left the inheritance for me, and these creeps stole it, but I'm getting it back now. And the one that I already told you, I shared with you the lesson he sent as message for all light workers on how to overcome the bondage and accusations used for bondage of on your money. Please watch that video because it's important information. He raised me like my father. Actually, I used to call him father when he was alive. And that was the most beautiful and pure type of love I experienced, and he was a mentor to me while he was alive. So when I connect to that, I always feel healing and safety, and I feel his love. Yeah. So basically, the bottom line and the short version of this video is that you need to love, but you need to make sure that you love the right way. First of all, the love must be mutual. Again, it doesn't have to be man-woman relation. You must understand. It can be with one parent, it can be with siblings, it can be with animals, it can be with deities. But again, make sure that you're talking about love. You're not talking about worshipping and about all these crazy type of connections which different individuals have with deities. And I have seen this. Actually, I remember that I was once in Jerusalem, and I decided to take communion at the time. It was 2012, and I decided to take communion at the time, and there were Russian priests offering communion, and I've seen some radical individuals, radical Orthodox individuals who were taking communion. I must tell you, halfway to the altar where you take communion, I got scared. They were so hysterical, and so I was like, this is not in all my experience. When you take communion, you must be at peace, you must be with in prayer, in silent meditation, and even actually throughout my life, if I felt unrest, I wouldn't take communion even if I was prepared to and I had the blessing to get the communion, simply because it's not normal. But they were behaving like I don't know, like crazy people. It was really shocking to me, and there was somebody there who explained to me, this is how they behave. These are radical Orthodox. I was like, oh my God, they're crazy. And they point the finger at the Muslims, because of terrorist attacks and so on. But they seem equally crazy to me. Anyhow, so when I say love of deity, then I mean soul, heart, chakra type of love, which is very private. You don't showcase this, and you don't become this lunatic yelling and becoming this hysterical person. It's something very peaceful. It's something very calm, and it's really from heart to heart chakra. I don't know how to explain it, because I believe you can feel it. You can feel the difference. You can feel the difference if you actually do have this type of love for someone. There are many, 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 many couples who don't have love for each other, are incapable of love. They're individuals who actually are incapable of love. In 2018, when God came to teach me to claim justice, judgment, and punishment, the first person that he asked me to claim punishment on was my ex-husband. And at the time, God didn't reveal everything to me, what he did. But he asked me, God said to claim justice, judgment, and punishment on him for, I don't know how to say this in English because he said it in Romanian to me, for not loving me ever, basically, for not loving me ever. And after God revealed to me all the atrocious things that individual has done against me, I asked him, why you asked me to um, uh, claim justice, judgment, and punishment on him only for that? And God said to me, because I watched over you as you got married, and I watched over you, and I was gonna give you everything that you deserved, and all your divine rights. All you needed, all he needed was to love you. Nothing else. You would have received all the inheritance and all the riches and all the everything that I actually foreseen for you if he would have just loved you. But he, no matter how much effort you have done, he never for a single second loved you. And because of this, every time when temptation came his way, he betrayed you and sold you, really like in a slave market, literally. So I gave you this example so you'll understand. God said that all the betrayals, which were atrocious betrayals that he has done against me throughout all that time, God said he only needed to love you. That was all he needed. If he would have loved you, you would have had all the safety, all the protection, and all your divine rights untouched by anyone. All of us, we were watching, and we were prepared to give you all of that. But he came with hate, with jealousy and envy. He came with a mandate to harm you and to sell you and to sell contracts on you. And that was not enough. He became even more envious and jealous on you each and every single day, and more hateful and vengeful at you for no reason, just because he wanted to be in your place. This is why actually he did witchcraft for swamping places with me. So I gave you this example so you'll understand how much importance God associates to love between a man and a woman. And God has shown to me that this is critical because if you love someone, you're going to be loyal. If you're loyal, you have divine protection. And a couple has not only individual protection, but the couple has unique protection and a unique aura which connects the two of them through love, through mutual love among them, and through the divine love for them. Yeah. The second, when you betray your partner, your spouse, your loved one, the common aura doesn't exist anymore. So you'll understand. This is how God showed to me about divine protection for couple. He said, no matter how much we wanted to help you, he was betraying you every single day. And by that, the aura of the couple was destroyed. Yeah. So there is no way for you to cheat on your spouse and to still have divine protection for your couple. Once you don't have divine protection for the couple, slowly, gradually, everything falls down, because all the negative attacks which are sent to you start separating you, start turning you against each other. This is how couples become karmic. Yeah, basically, you don't have the divine protection for the couple, you don't have the divine blessing, and by betraying each other, you bring in darkness in between. This is basically the process. Yeah. God has shown to me specifically, not only in my case but for many other cases, he has shown to me what was the gradual process of losing the divine protection for the couple. Yeah. So, of course, you can turn to God, you can ask forgiveness, you can do whatever you want, but you lost the divine protection, you lost the common aura. It's very seldom that truly a couple after betrayal actually can regain divine protection. It's very seldom. God never shown me this, but He's whispering to me that sometimes it happens, but very seldom. So love is very important, just so you'll understand. So God showed this to me, that a couple stays together if they love each other. If not, sooner or later they will harm each other, they will turn against each other, they will be miserable and unhappy in their own individuality, and basically, of course, even if you don't become karmic at fighting each other and becoming public embarrassment or something, you still accumulate a lot of darkness in your heart, because you don't love each other and because everything becomes painful and lonely. And I have said that after my divorce, I had many acquaintances and friends and family who kept insisting on me getting together with somebody, being with somebody, marrying somebody. Oh my God, they already had so many men prepared for me. You cannot imagine. And I refused. I literally refused. And to me, that was very important, because there's got to be love. You cannot just come together for material interest. Love is important. And just being together, I always said to them, excuse me, because they said, you shouldn't be alone. You should, because you're going to be lonely. And they said, no. I was much more lonely in that marriage than I am now, as I'm alone. As I'm alone, it's fine. I have so many interests to follow. I have so many things to do. But I felt so lonely in that marriage. So, so lonely and overwhelmed. And this accumulates darkness in your heart chakra. This is very important. And darkness can come from sadness, from loneliness, from longing for, you don't know for what. This is usually what happens. You long for love. You long for love, essentially. But love comes with harmony, with happiness, with, so it's not just you long for love, passionate love or something. No, you long for a certain healing type of love. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop now because I don't know what else God wants me to say. This is the heart chakra healing is extremely important for you to move on. As long as you don't heal your heart chakra, it's gonna be, first of all, you're gonna be open to attacks, because they can, how to say this, they can access you. All dark entities can access you based on the energy that you release through a wounded heart. Yeah. This is very important. I gave in another video the example of sharks coming into water and feeling blood. This is exactly the same way how entities and darkness works. They will send it your way, but if you have unhealed heart chakra, they will get to feed on you much more than if you would be healed. Yeah. Okay. I think I said everything there is to say. The plain message is that the heart chakra is critical and you need to heal it in order to move on with your spiritual fighting and integration. It is critical. And again, I say, personally, I practicing my heart chakra on my own in prayer with God and Jesus. Um, and for example, this was important for me. I have done with Jesus all healing meditation by invitation, So that is a type of healing that you perform, but this is also healing for you who perform. So this was also important, and to me, still my divine reality. Um, Lucky has been the one actually um, generated and maintained constantly the healing of my heart chakra. And I will tell you one more thing before I close. A few months ago, a few weeks ago, I went through strong death attacks by one of these crazy women neighbors of mine who is impersonating me and is trying to become me. Although she's really crazy, I don't know why, and she's insulting and slandering my name constantly, and even insulting me in my face a few times. So it's a bit awkward that she tries to be me. After she keeps insulting me, she tells me, she starts yelling from across the street that I am crazy. You know, she's really. I was in dismay when I saw her. I'm like, you must be very sick in your mind to do this, because I never spoke to her ever. She started yelling from across the street that I am crazy. So that only shows that she's crazy, because only a crazy person can behave like that. Anyhow, um, this healing the chakra is important, basically. The message, and you have to focus on that. Um, you have to find the way which works for you. It doesn't have to be a human, it can be an animal, it can be whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Even if it's painting and you love your painting, even if it's singing or dancing, for example. It really, really, truly depends on whatever you like, and I will not assume to know uh, how many ways are there to heal the heart chakra. Um, you must find your own way to deal with this, but you must focus on pure love. And if by chance you don't know how that is, um, be a good observer. Try different ways of loving a child, of course. Children are very healing, and you can love children. I love children very much. It's just I didn't encounter many children recently, so that's why Lucky is my child. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. Please focus on that. If you have any questions, please ask me. I was not quite sure exactly what God wanted me to say. He just told me you need to talk about heart chakra healing and explain how important this is, and about the pure love. Pure love can be for anyone, yeah, or for anything, even pure love for nature. That is still good, and it will be a beginning at least, yeah.